Good morning. Don Yoakum here. Time for the daily brief where I give you a pick a day plus the big picture perspective you need to make this market work for you. Okay, so before I dive into the pick today, PPI came in this morning a little hotter than expected. The surprising part was that it wasn't the typically volatile components such as food and energy that contributed to the producer price index or raw commodities, that sort of thing. It was the services component. That tells me that when you have those more stable components really contributing to inflation, that tells me that inflation is starting to set in. Providers of services in the commodity supply chain, basically commodity supply chain, but you don't have to think about it that way. But in any case, those suppliers to services, they're having to raise their prices, whether it's wages or charging more for their services. Inflation is becoming endemic, right? And the problem with inflation is it creates a disincentive to save and an incentive to spend. You're starting to see that with savings collapsing and credit on the rise. And it's interesting that there's a component, right? For most of the last several years, a lot of the money that the Fed printed just sat as excess reserves on the bank's balance sheets. That was like $4 trillion of the $6 trillion. That's a lot of money, right? Now what's happening, that inflation is biting in, there's an incentive to lend and borrow and spend. That money is starting to work its way into the system. Paradoxically, the interest rates rises could be causing more inflation. That's an interesting thing to keep an eye on. In any case, I don't think there's any way that the Fed can ease. They're going to have the same sorts of concerns, and that's just going to send the markets lower. So today, I want you to short NASDAQ. Here we're looking at the NASDAQ futures contract. I want you to short it right in here. Target price is 11,063. I want you to put in the stop loss at 11,848. Current level of the NASDAQ is 11,602. If it makes that run over the next few days, we're talking, I think it's roughly 4 or 5% return just on that. Now, I realize most of you don't trade futures. If you want the exact way to play it, I want you to join the daily pick. It's just $9 a month. You can click on the link below, and I give you a pick every day. You join it, and I'll give you all the details you need to trade this move. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily brief.